This week has been a little bit intense for me. And it actually felt like I had a lot of pressure, the weight of the world on my shoulders. And I don't know if you've ever felt like that, but I had some medical challenges as well as some work things that just felt so heavy. And 20 years from now, none of that's going to matter. But what I thought I would do today is to get us in touch with emotions and get us in touch when we have persistent days that just feel so heavy and they're just so hard to get through. And, if you've ever struggled to just get through the day, I have a few techniques that we're going to cover today. So hopefully you will enjoy this, and let's get ready to meditate. Normally, when I'm meditating on my own for the first 5 minutes, I need to settle in and feel grounded. I've done another video on grounding that would be very helpful if you're unfamiliar with the technique. But let's go ahead and get ready to meditate, feet flat on the floor. Find a comfortable posture where you can sit upright. And let's take a deep breath and blow it out. Feel your chest rise and blow it out. And one more. And blow it out. And if you're feeling that sense of heaviness in your life, let's just take a minute or two and breathe and sense into the feeling of the heavy. If you are comfortable, you may close your eyes. If you prefer to keep your eyes open, just cast them downward to limit your visual distractions. And as you breathe, sense into the place in your body where you feel the heaviness. I feel a sense of heaviness in my forehead and in my chest. Earlier this week, I felt it in my ankles, and my ankles became incredibly swollen and uncomfortable. When I feel my ankles start to swell, I notice, I recognize that my body is trying to tell me something. So one of the first steps in dealing with just trying to get through the day is to recognize what your body is trying to tell you, where the heaviness may lie. And heavy ankles for me, heaviness in my chest, heaviness in my forehead, as I recognize that there is more than one area where I feel the heaviness, what I'm going to do now is just accept that it's there, recognize and accept. And I'm going to breathe into those areas. Breathe into one area at a time. As I'm breathing into my forehead, I begin to notice that my eyes also feel squinty, like I'm squinting them on purpose. And my jaw feels heavy, like I'm clenching my jaw. And as I breathe into it, I begin to notice even more and recognize more areas in my body where I am holding tension. Now, if you were watching this on a future date, note that today is a full moon day. And it's an excellent day for letting go of things, particularly tension. So as I inhale and exhale, a technique that I learned in the certification class for spiritual healing from James Praagh was to, as I exhale, let go of that tension. So with every out breath, I want you to let go of tension. You may notice that I inhale through my nose and exhale through my mouth. That's just what's comfortable for me. If inhaling and exhaling through your nose is one way that you feel that you are able to let go of tension, by all means, do what is comfortable for you as you exhale. And with every breath, it feels as though I am peeling an onion and letting those layers just drop off into my grounding, down to Mother Earth, who can recycle. I'm beginning to feel more relaxation from my forehead backward through my scalp. And so my face and head are starting to relax. So you may want to gently investigate why you hold tension in your, for me, it's my face, eyes, and jaw. And right away, as I investigate the why, I find that it wasn't safe for me to show frustration and tension as a child. So I developed a rather unhealthy coping mechanism of clenching my teeth, grinding my teeth, especially at night. So now, as I'm much older, I have much more coping skills for when I feel tension, particularly when I'm writing. I can write out my tension. I can write to process my emotions. I can exercise and I feel tension leaving my body. I have many more skills to cope with frustration. And lastly, I'm going to tell myself it was okay. It's okay to have a coping mechanism that is unconscious. And bringing it to light, I'm going to tell myself that we all developed ways to get through the day that may not have been the most healthy for us, but it was all we could do at the time. And as we get older and develop more skills, it isn't helpful to look back and chastise ourselves. It's not helpful. Just recognize, accept, gently investigate, and finally nurture yourself by asking yourself, do I have other ways to handle this kind of tension? And since these reactions are unconscious and they're well grooved, a well worn habit, substituting better actions requires your active, conscious awareness when it starts to happen. And it's fits and starts, fits and starts. You may try to remember that you have another way to handle the situation. You may write down and leave yourself post-it notes. When I feel tension in my jaw, I breathe into it, and maybe I go for a walk. Just giving yourself cues to gradually move from where you are to where you want to be. And breathe. And just allow the energy from the breath, the oxygen, to fill your entire body on your next inhale. Breathe into the tips of your fingers. Breathe all the way down to the tips of your toes. And with each exhale, let go of any stored energy in your body. Let go of any emotions that are no longer serving you. And specifically, what do I mean by no longer serving? So my habit of clenching my jaw has no positive purpose. And it did at one time, and therefore it became an unconscious habit. But now I have to consciously work on first becoming aware that I'm doing it, and then letting myself choose a better alternative way to handle it. And if you are a follower of my 7 mindful questions, you will know that the choosing of a better alternative are the last 3 of the 7 mindful questions. After you've become aware and you've investigated it and figured out that there may be other things that you can do, then you come to the last 3 questions where we ask you to choose. And choosing is the emotional heart of the 7 mindful questions. So when you notice that you have tension, that you feel that heaviness, that you are having difficulty getting through the day, this technique that we learned today is so helpful. And making a choice to do better, to break those patterns of unhealthy coping mechanisms. And breathe. Let me tell you, I am feeling much calmer. The heaviness has lifted, and I'm starting to feel a bit more like myself. And when I feel like myself, that heaviness, it as I'm carrying it around, it's like I've got to step through it to perform, and it's a vicious cycle. So the more I push through it, the more heaviness I feel. And to just figure out what I'm actually feeling through this technique has allowed my spirit to lift, my mind to feel calmer, and my body to feel more relaxed. And when body, mind, and spirit are in the same place at the same time, that's true mindfulness. So maybe roll your shoulders a little bit, wiggle your fingers and your toes, maybe pump your heels, get some blood flowing down into your feet. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. And what I'd like to share with you is this is called a fog globe. And my favorite teacher, Sylvia Boorstein, used this fog globe, hers, not mine, to illustrate how mindfulness meditation, you've got this fog going on. And when you sit in meditation, the longer you sit, maybe all you can do is 5 minutes at first, and you get through those 5 minutes, and then, okay, 5 more minutes. Okay, 5 more minutes. And as you see here in the screen, the fog is starting to clear. And you start to see the Golden Gate Bridge. As the fog starts to settle, you begin to get clarity. So remember that the next time you feel those swirling emotions that are grabbing you and you feel that heaviness and that it's difficult to get through the day, Remember, if you sit in meditation and prayer, it will start to settle and you'll get some clarity. That's my hope for you. When you need clarity, come back to this meditation, and I hope you find it as helpful as I did today. Blessings. Thank you so much for meditating with me today. If you like this video, please click the like link, subscribe below, and follow me on Instagram or Facebook. You can check out my webpage for more free meditations and sign up on the homepage and they'll appear in your inbox. Thanks so much again for meditating with me. Every week there'll be fresh, free content.